Hey, welcome to another edition of Fabric 5. I'm Steve Hughes, Data and Wealth founder. Glad you joined us today. Today is our second in our series where we're talking about Databricks in regards to Fabric. We're going to look at what it is to manage OneLake with Databricks and talk about that as an option for your organization. So let's get started. So this is a fairly simple warehouse solution that we've talked about a couple times. Basically organizing our lakehouse, or organizing our medallion architecture into a couple lakehouses and a data warehouse. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that in a lot of our conversation we've had up to this point, we talked about using data factory, notebooks, and such to manage it inside the context of OneLake. In the last session, we talked about how Databricks can manage your ADLS Gen 2 environment, and then you can use shortcuts to work with the data within Fabric and share it throughout your organization. Expand your data state. I want to throw an idea out there for you, because it's also possible that you can use Azure Databricks if that's what you really want to use. Now you prefer to manage your environment. Maybe you have some scaling issues or things like that you want to manage more tightly. Things where the controls aren't really available in Fabric because it's software as a service. You could write directly to OneLake using Databricks. This would allow you to maintain your environments by writing the Delta and managing on the OneLake API just like you would with the ADLS Gen 2 API. This is an interesting concept as it takes compute outside the storage. This really holds true to a commitment Microsoft is making in the overall process to separate compute from storage. You would be using OneLake as a storage mechanism, which is interesting because it will allow you to put all the data in a place in Fabric that you can leverage the rest of Fabric in any way you'd like. But at the same time, you can be in comfort, you can use your comfort level with Azure Databricks to grow the work that you're doing. This is different than using AWS Gen 2 and shortcuts because it's not a shortcut operation. At this point, you're saying, I want to take my ETL compute, I want to pull it out of Fabric, and I want to do that work, those workloads, against the OneLake API, and then use that to manage my data inside of OneLake. Is it the best choice? Maybe, maybe not. Is it something you should consider if you really are ingrained in Databricks or you have concerns about some of the controls you like around your compute in Databricks? Maybe you feel like you need different capacities or you want control over your VM sizes. Whatever. These are the kind of things that you can do outside of the software as a service platform called Fabric, while at the same time leveraging the capability of the open API to use the maturity of Databricks if that's your preference for everything but the storage itself, or what reality that storage is sitting inside of OneLake as opposed to AWS Gen 2. So it's just something to keep in mind. I'm not going to vote either way on this one, but I do want you to, as always, consider that there's more than one way to architect a solution depending on your needs. And there's times to consider a lot of these. In this case, if Databricks is your preferred option, but you want it to put the storage in OneLake, you do have that option to do so. Going back to the previous video, you could always do this in ADLS Gen 2, and then do shortcuts. It's going to end up being a preference on your side. Where do you want the storage to live? Because you have a choice in storage and compute. So keep that in mind as you build out your solutions using Fabric. We hope you enjoyed this conversation and maybe it sparked a little bit of interest. take some time. We look forward to talking to you later. Like, share, and subscribe. As always, have a great day. Thank you.